Afternoon, decided to take on a new job. Golf isn't paying enough, and I think it may be time for me to start doing some waitering. Now, still waiting, don't want to worry that McDonald's or whoever, Costa, Starbucks, don't want to limit you, but still haven't had a coffee sponsor yet, and I don't really understand why no one would want to sponsor me. The amount of coffee I drink, admittedly, you wouldn't make a lot if I'm not paying for it, but surely there's got to be some advertising somewhere. Right, we're going to use a tray and a cup. And it's just something that is quite often seen, I think, in the academy. I say that every week, but I see these things every week. I tend to see what we call an open position at the top. So we tend to have the palm being too vertical, and then we see the palm coming the wrong way on the way down. Now, if you watch most of the golf on TV, most good players, whether it be the AIG Ladies Women Open or, the Men's Open, so on here, what you'll see is in the backswing, you're going to see a lot of, we'd almost argue, slightly closed, if anything now seems to be the modern way. But what that would do is, obviously, I would have to start with my tray here. But as I swung to the top here, what I would like to see is it won't quite be perfectly vertical, but I would see that the tray is now horizontal. Now, if I was to do it in a kind of weak position here, so if I go to the top here, can you see how there I've got that width and we've got that kind of strong position? Now in the real world, it would be a little more this way, but obviously that's going to fall off. But if I had it that way, now immediately, can you see how on the way down, we've now got that outside position. If I have my tray this way, and I keep my cup there, so a little bit that way here, you can see how the weight's better into here. And on the way down, we want the cup to stay there before I threw it towards the target. What we don't want to do, and I won't get paid a lot from doing my job here, is if I had the tray in a good position here and immediately I go that way, I'm not getting paid. I might get paid, but I doubt it. So again, same kind of feeling. We'd obviously start with it this way because my palms would be there, but I then want to have the coffee cup kept vertically there. As I start down, if I can keep that coffee cup a little bit more vertical before I rotate, that would be fantastic. If I was to go this way and immediately throw the coffee cup, or if I started with it that way, you can see I almost will go in the other way, and that's your outside, that's your across, cutty, slicey. So if we've got our palm right for the use of facing upwards, you could almost argue, I could almost have my left palm facing upwards. So again, there, or back of my left hand here. So if I'm that way, that's open. So it's downward and it's going to come across. Bit of coffee there. If it was this way more, can you feel as we come down here, now I'm able to square that up much more. So again, tray too much that way, tip in the drinks, and immediately that's what we would call open at the top. That's going to create a slicey, steep motion. Yet if I was to go this way and that's too much, and keep it that way, now can you see how suddenly I can really square that club up, second half of the swing here, and then we can really wade into it. And that's going to get me the maximum number of tips, and that's what we need nowadays. Have a good afternoon. Remember, anyone knows anyone with coffee, feel free to let them know.